things to you that have never been done before.
We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We the people are the driver. The government is the car. And we decide where it should go and by what route to do. We the people are free. And I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited.
Well, hello, folks. Coughing, spluttering, and carrying on. Hope you're doing all right for your whatever day of the week it is. It's the eve before the eve of Christmas. And all through the house, well, nothing stirring around here except the odd goat and 3 dogs that get very excited when I step outside. But aside from that, well, trying to stay off the roads as much as possible and haven't succeeded at all. I've managed to make 2 trips to the 2 worst places you want to go at Christmas in the last couple of days. But I did that for good reason and had a wonderful time up on the Sunshine Coast with a lunch full of fabulous people, friends of the Voice of Freedom family, who've also sent through some pictures. Not those ones. We've got people sending us in pictures from all over the place. Pete from Pinaroo sent this, and I'm pretty confident this is either a tornado at his back door or it's a roll cloud that was being pushed up. And this one sort of looks like it could be a tornado coming down and turning into that. If that is the case, that looks like it's at the back of Pete's property in South Australia. So I don't know, Pete, if you're in the chat. I'll get down the bottom here and see if you are. But that certainly looked a little frightening. That came in over the weekend, I think, those pictures. So very interesting indeed. So, yeah, Sunday, raced off to the Sunshine Coast, did some great things on Saturday, which I'll talk more about when, well, I suppose I should do it in chronological order. Helped Laura out Saturday morning and then wound up at Heaven in the Hills, which I haven't uploaded the pictures for yet. But, well, folks, you are going to love it if you win a week at Heaven in the Hills. Can I just say that? On that note, let me introduce you to the man who waves so well and so wonderfully. Vincenzo, how are you, my friend? Oh, look at you getting all artistic with you. Have you been listening to Hawaiian music all day to try and get that hand movement right?
Yeah. It was such a relaxing day. I mean, we're coming into Christmas. It's time to be joyful and spend time with the family. And yeah, so just relax and throw the world of worries out the door and get bloody drunk. Oh, did I say that?
So I did a live today. Thank you to everybody who contacted me 5 minutes and 35 seconds into it when the microphone decided for whatever reason it was going to stop working. Still haven't figured out why. Not to worry. Not going to use that whole setup again that way. We'll go to plugging a microphone back into it. And as soon as I find that microphone again, we'll be right. So we'll be away. Vincenzo went and had wonderful lunch with some folks on Sunday. It wasn't a big crew, but by God, we're dedicated. And I want to just especially mention Margie Sedman, who's not been well. 2025 has not treated her terribly well at all. She's had to battle a couple of significant issues in her life, but she's home now from hospital and she's at home by herself most of the time, which is just a tad unfortunate. So she took the opportunity to get out of the house and come join us at what used to be the Waterfront Hotel in Bly on the Sunshine Coast, but is now called the Northern Grounds Hotel, owned by Asahi, the owners of Great Northern. And they've done a big refurbishment on the place. It's a beautiful big room and lovely meals, very nice meals, lovely place. So Margie was one of the first to turn up. And thank you for Margie. She shouted my lunch. It was lovely of her. So lovely to see her. She was so happy to be able to get out of the house and catch up with some wonderful people. And some of those wonderful people included this bloke. Now, for those of you who are unaware, this would be Waptha in the chat, otherwise known as Greg. What a wonderful man. And thank you to Greg for being such a delight to be around. He was such an education, particularly when it came to silver and gold. He wanted to express his thanks, and he wanted to show a little bit of the benefit of the advice that I'd given him over the last couple of years, because he'd never invested in silver until I started talking about silver, and he discovered the show. So he brought along it's what I imagine a pirate would have done back in the day, Vince. You know, one of those leather bags that bulges and jingles. And he's dropped this bag on the table, and it was much jingling and jangling, and then it spilled open. Now, this is at about 1:30 on Sunday afternoon in a pub that is full. There is not an empty seat in the house. There must be 500 people in the place. And all of this silver just spills over the table. I'm like, Jay, Greg, I don't want to be showing that around a bit too much. But anyway, he was a wealth of knowledge. He actually brought a lot of things up to show the group, to give us a little bit of an idea of, if you're into gold and silver, what things you could be looking for. And it was just a delight. He also brought a gold bar of some significant size, significant to anybody, I would think. He seems to think it's pretty easy. It's only a little bar. But, you know, at the way gold... Well, in fact, today, let's talk about it. Gold and silver today. Well, silver hasn't done much today, if I'm honest. Silver has sort of hovered around $103, $104 an ounce, and at the moment sits at $104.05. Where the movement has happened is in the gold spot price. Right now, $6,716.56. That is down slightly on the high that I saw it earlier today, but only slightly. I'm talking maybe $5 or $10. Now, it's up $200 odd from when I looked at it yesterday, or when it closed on Friday night. No, yesterday it would have closed. So very worthwhile having a look at gold at the moment, but don't go selling your silver to go and buy gold just yet. The gold-silver ratio is the thing you want to be looking at before you start looking at that. And I have seen the gold-silver ratio down to nearly 62. It's now at 64.5, meaning you need 64.5 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. That number is going to come down. Now, there will be a point where those who've been stacking for a long time will tell you that you want to change your silver over to gold at that point. Right now, there are those very people are taking their gold in and buying silver with it. Why? Because silver's going to keep on going, at least for the foreseeable future, in my opinion, and the opinion of many, many, many other people who know a lot more about it than I do. I don't give financial advice, but let me tell you, it is still not too late, even at $104 an ounce. And even if you think, oh, well, pardon me, when Carl started telling me about this, silver was about $35, $36 an ounce. I think it was something like that. It had its first little jump, and I was excited when I saw it go through $40. That was really exciting. Now it has pushed on to, well through 50, and now through 100, and they're talking potentially 4 figures. So, yes, okay, people are going to say, oh, yeah, I've missed it. You haven't missed it at all. We are in uncharted grounds, and the reason we are in uncharted grounds is because there is a great demand and there is very little supply. Therefore, the industrial market is going to chase us and the stackers in the community who have not 1 or 2 or 10 or 15 or 20 kilos, the stackers that have hundreds of kilos of silver put away. They're the ones they're going to
was-
try and target.
I was watching a show today, which was only produced a couple of days ago from over in America. And the gentleman on there is a bit of a financial banker, etc., bits and pieces. And he was actually talking about the silver and the ratio and what's going on. And his estimates was, we'll quite easily see $250 US next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
US. So, right.
Yeah.
What's that in Australian dollars?
I won't attribute it to a certain or to any person in particular, but I have had cause. I just wanted to call into both Ainslie offices and wish everybody a Merry Christmas on the in Queensland. So I called into Brisbane briefly yesterday, and called into the Gold Coast office this morning. I had to do a few things down there today, and had a great time with James and the crew down there. In fact, they have been very busy, but today looked like it had calmed down a bit while I was there at any rate. And they're open until Christmas Eve tomorrow. I think they shut at 4:00, and then they do not open again until January the 5th. But I want to tell you folks, they do not open again till January the 5th in any of their offices, that being Brisbane, the Gold Coast, or Melbourne. However, Ainslie.com or ainslebullion.com.au, the online store, will still be operating. Now, I expect, just because it's Christmas time, I expect that what we're seeing with the price of silver and gold and platinum, I think what they mentioned, get onto platinum if you can. It's just gone through $3,000 an ounce. I think when only a matter of months ago, it was $1,700 an ounce. So look, go check out platinum. There you go. Pete's pushing it too. Yeah, platinum is a good deal. So Ainslie Bullion do have platinum. And getting back to what I was going to say, so while they close their office doors for a Christmas New Year break for their staff, ainslebullion.com.au will still be taking orders and sales online at the daily market prices. So you can make an order. So just for instance, you say, oh, Carl, you say it's going to keep going up, but is it really? It might drop. And look, there might be a little bit of a pullback on silver. And when I say a little bit of a pullback, it might go back beneath $100, but it won't go back there for long. And even today, while we thought that would happen today, or even potentially yesterday when the market opened, it did get a little weaker. It went to 103, I think 10 was the lowest I saw it. And it bounced back up again. Why? Because gold started going up as well. And they needed to try and suppress both. They couldn't. So anyway, there's a science to it. It's beyond me how they do it, but I'm sure somebody made money out of it more so than me. Anyway, what that was a wealth of knowledge about all of this. And he's coming on the cruise. This man, this puppy porn purveyor, as I called him. And I owe you an apology, Greg. Sorry, mate. I was meant to call in and see you yesterday on my way back down, but the time got in the way one way and the other. And I was talking on the phone as I came past where you were, and by the time I got to Brisbane, I'd forgotten all about ringing you back. So I do apologise. Sorry, Vincenzo.
I'm actually surprised you haven't come back with a puppy dog.
No, well, I can happily report that Carl Jr. Has been bought by a loving family in Victoria, I believe.
Nice.
And we'll be going to a farm to look after, I think it was a farm. A couple of the other ones, including Carl Jr.'s best mate, are going to Arnhem Land, to an Arnhem Land ranger who is really keen. So that's great. He's also trained dogs before, apparently, so that's bloody good. I think there is only, if there are any left, there might be one or possibly two puppies left. And what there's in the chat if you wanted to talk to him. But Deb, I want to get a dog, but honestly, that kind of dog, I've had a bit of experience with red heelers, with blue heelers. Back when I lived on a property on the Sunshine Coast, the people that owned that property were heeler breeders. And we, Laura and I mean, got to sit through a couple of litters of heeler puppies. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little creatures with razor sharp teeth that will chew through the walls of the bus if left alone for half an hour. While I would love him to bits, I could not afford to leave him in the bus, and it would be unfair to leave him in the bus. And I'm not going to tie him up under the bus as a little puppy. So no, I'm not in a position to properly treat the dog right. As much as I would, for my own reasons and purposes, want one, I don't think it's fair on the dog. So that's why I won't be getting one. However, what that has said that if he couldn't get me a puppy, then he was going to help me get a bed on a boat. So he has helped me get a bed on the cruise, which is wonderful of him. He's thrown in some silver, as it turns out, to help me pay for that trip. If you want to be part of that, you saw the thing at the front of the show. We'd love to see you on the cruise. Vince, there was much talk about you coming on the cruise. We want you to come on the cruise. Yeah, so I told everybody that you'd say that. And then I said, well, I might send Clayton down for you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean,
I know. I literally can't run, by the way. Bye, Clayton. Yeah, I know he would.
The man is a mountain. So he came for lunch the other day too, which was spectacular because he drove up from Brisbane for it. I mean, he's outside of Brisbane, so I guess it was only an hour and a half instead of 2.5 hours for him. Sometimes that road from anywhere out of Brisbane north is hell. I came across it a few weeks ago. And finally, of course, we had one other person from the family for lunch, and she is a very special person to our Voice of Freedom family, not only because, she's great at giving advice. She answers the phone when you ring, and she's one of our moderators. She is, and her husband, just a couple of the most magnificent people I've ever met. And her name is Sunflower. So look at that smile, hey? That's probably why they call her Sunflower. So we had a lovely time with Sunflower, and her friend Kirsty, who came with her, I didn't get a photo of because she says, I haven't watched the show in a while. I really don't. Anyway, by the end of it, I think Kirsty's watching tonight. So hi, Kirsty. I hope you're doing it well. Clayton could donate some hair to Vince.
Love this family. They throw it out there, mate, and I have to put it up.
Line yourself up there on the side beside the big fella.
All right.
Yeah, no, that's
there you go.
No, I'm not going to be able to phase that. Sorry, no. Sorry. I thought I could phase it, but it won't work.
Bugger.
Oh well, it would have been a funny joke if I could have just phased your head into where Clayton's was. But anyway, bad luck. I'll have to work on that in photo. Give it to AI. Oh, there's a thought. Give it to AI. So anyway, we had a lovely lunch, and it did stretch into a bit of an evening with both Greg and Clayton hanging around, where we shared some nibblies for dinner as well. So it was a really, really wonderful Sunday afternoon. Great venue, can I just say. I've held a couple of live shows at that venue before, but now that they've done this magnificent, great refurb to the joint, I don't think they've got a function room anymore. Why? I think they filled it full of pokies. God, everything's going. Anyway, look, before we go much further, Margie Sedman, this is Margie. Remember Margie? All right, that's Margie. I think that's a better photo of Margie. She's got both eyes open in that one. Don't know why I don't know. I'll delete that one right now. Don't know why I threw that one up. Margie is now, unfortunately, for her, because she was a very, very active lady, right? She has this magnificent big Jeep that she thought, I want to get around and see Australia. She had friends and family down south in Sydney and other places she wanted to go and visit. So, g'day, Phil. So she decided she would buy herself a caravan and head off to do that. And I think she made about 3 trips to Sydney and back in the caravan before she got unwell. And part of the unwellness was a cancer that she got in her femur. And that means getting around now after the surgery is very difficult. And steps like getting up and into her caravan are completely out of the question. So she has asked if anybody in the Voice of Freedom family might be interested in buying it from her. Now, I haven't got a price from her. I'll have to get that off her. I forgot to ask. But I went and caught up with Margie yesterday morning and took a few photos. Just if people are interested, you can contact me, carl@vofhq.com, and I'll send you all the photos that I have. But here is just a small range. It's a Razor XLT that comes from the Royal Flair brand. It has this really cool little electric motor thing at the front to steer it and drive it all around the place without you having to lift a finger, which I thought was pretty bloody cool. It's neat. It sat in Margie's driveway. Hasn't really been outside of that. Up and down the highway, all good. The door opens, as you can see, always helpful. Margie likes pink flamingos, apparently, because those scatter cushions are covered in pink flamingos. And I didn't. I thought, maybe you drop that table and you use those pillows and whatnot for the bed, but that isn't the case at all. The bed is above and out of the shot. You can see in the back corners of this photo, on the left and right side corners, that's a runner in each corner, and there's 4 of them, and there is a button that you push, and the bed comes down out of the roof and nestles down, if you want, either onto the table or down into that little nook. And that's where your bed is. And in fact, that pink thing or orange thing you can see in the background hanging over the curtain is in fact a bed sheet that I didn't realize. I just thought that was a curtain, but turns out, who knew? It was a bed sheet. Vince, you'll like this. There's all the electrical things. It has a pretty big inverter on it. It's got, I've got close-ups of all that sort of stuff. It has a fridge, which is ideal for probably 2 people max, and got a little freezer in it too, so you can be able to keep your steaks or whatever else it is that you might like cool. It has an air conditioner in it, which I can tell you blows extremely cold. Yesterday, it was meant to be 36 degrees, I think, where Margie lives. I was there at about 9:30, quarter to 10, and it was 34 degrees outside when I was taking these photos. I switched that AC on, and it worked like a charm. So don't worry about that. It comes with its own toilet and shower. The shower is in through that other opaque door there on the left-hand side. And nice little room for that. It's got a nook up the front for cooking and all the associated other accoutrements. And there you go. Little radio, stereo thing. It's got a awning too, pretty confident. Yes, awning out here on the outside. It's a semi-off-road. And like I say, don't know how much she actually wants for it, unless she's in the chat and has put a fee up for it herself already. But I will get a price for her. If you are interested, it's on the Sunshine Coast. And at the end of the day, if you were, I mean, anywhere between here and where Vince is or Adelaide or somewhere like that, I would be prepared to come and bring it to you. If that was going to be a problem, I'd be happy to deliver it. Well, Margie doesn't mind driving, and we could probably take her car for a drive and give her a bit of a tour around the country. We wouldn't have to take it in the bus. I'd say we could take it in the bus and Margie could sleep on the couch, but she's not very good with steps. I don't know how she's going to be with a high jump getting into the bus.
Yeah, not to mention how much it would cost to tow it behind the bus, but yeah.
Well, yeah, there would be a certain windsock effect with it, I suppose. It must be a pretty good envelope, though. She said that it was
Hmm.
very economical. It's quite light, and I do have all of that. I didn't bring those photos into this chat, but it's quite light. I've got all the specs and whatnot, the tow bar stuff that you need. What's the word I'm looking for? VIN numbers and all that. So if you are interested, please reach out, carl@vofhq.com. This would be one last thing that Margie doesn't have to worry about hitting in her driveway as she takes her Jeep out on the prowl. Not that she's going to hit it. There's plenty of room, but, that may as well go to, as she said to me yesterday, she loves it. It was just, wonderful for her because she could take as little or as long time as she wanted, heading down to Sydney and places further south to see friends and family. She could pull over anywhere, stay the night. It was something she could look after herself. It was very, very nice just for a single lady, easy to operate for a single lady. I guess that's what we should be pushing, provided you can get up steps. It's got 2 steps to get into it, and then there's one further step once you're into it to get up to walking height. So if I can help you out with any further questions, send me an email, carl@vofhq.com, and I will hook you up with Margie for a price. And like I say, if you need it delivered, we'll work something out for you.
Typical salesman. He says he's not a salesman, but did you just hear that? Years and years of being on the radio, right? He just puts it out there with such earnest honesty and compassion, and you can hear it in the voice. And that's why he keeps telling me off for being such a dumbwit. But anyway.
I don't tell you off for any such thing. You dumb. Hey, I was going to say, because I had a lovely experience waiting for my turn in the queue at Ainslie in Brisbane yesterday. How nice it is. You turn up to say ho, ho, ho to a few people, and there's all these others with money who are going in to buy huge amounts of silver. You're just basically taking up time to go and shake hands and kiss babies. And that was pretty much me. And in the car park, I followed a car down into the car park under Ainslie in Brisbane. People will know what I'm talking about there. I jumped out of the car, raced off to the elevator, thinking I'm going to get ahead of that person in the car in the queue if there is a queue. I got to the elevator and realised that I'd left a fairly important and very salient part of what I needed to get behind the glass at Ainslie, that being my wallet and my ID, back in the car. So I ran back and got that, and then wound up walking with this lady to the elevator, where we discovered we were both going to the 6th floor and we were both going to Ainslie Bullion. So she got to the button, hit the button and said, I'm here. They opened the door. I opened the door for her, let her walk through first. We wound up sitting opposite each other after we'd got our numbers, and another lady came through a few minutes later, and she was a few numbers after all of us. We wound up having a bit of a chat, and it turned out the lady ahead of me was so impressed that I let her go ahead of me in the queue, that I opened the door for her and let her go to the window before me, get the number ahead of me. And I said, it's just what you do, don't you? You let ladies go first. That's, it's just what you do. And she said, oh, I don't see that around here too often. So, so it was nice to hear that. Yep,
mate. There's this young lady that I was going to introduce you to. She's one of those people that just eats greens and bits and pieces, but you probably never heard of her. Dad joke. I got a dad joke in.
Oh,
sorry.
Oh wow! wow! That is
if you're going to go and basically make a fool of yourself, you've got to do it properly. And I just showed you how. Tonight is about having fun. Yeah, dad jokes. There's a few others that I've heard of, but yeah.
I heard a dad joke the other day. Why did the Catholics invent baptism?
Okay, why did the Catholics invent baptism?
To wash their sex toys.
Oh,
How many people
yes,
just
righto.
brought up their how many people just brought up their lunch, dinner, or anything after that? Sorry.
Right. So right now, there's all these computer screens that have got food splattered all over them.
Coffee dripping off the keyboard. Yeah. Never good. Oh, no, it'd be wine this time of night. It wouldn't be coffee, would it? Oh, it depends what
Yeah.
time. Depends what time you watch this. Many people watch it for breakfast. So don't put your breakfast wine near your keyboard. That's all I'm saying. So there isn't a huge amount happening outside of the fact that Anthony Albanese is being pilloried from left to right, pillar to post, and quite deservedly so. Penny Wong is another one that is being shown as an example of exactly the kind of horrible person that we have leading or in a leadership role in this country. I'm starting to believe that this is all part of the humiliation ritual that was begun with Albanese's trip over to see Donald Trump, involved Kevin Rudd's little outing there across the desk, the Joy Division T-shirt coming down the steps of the aircraft or getting into home when he got home, and the shit that has gone on in this country since then. I'm really starting to see a humiliation ritual being played out here.
I actually would have thought that by now we would have figured this out, because obviously, especially for Penny, she's always been the wrong person for it.
Boom, boom. Have you been preparing these?
No, they're just coming off the top of my head. No.
All right. So none of your prepared Christmas jokes have a Christmas theme then?
No, nothing. No. I haven't fallen down the chimney either.
So
I could try slaying a few others, and you never know. Right? Might be able to just go and ask my dear daughter some questions or something like that. Trying to find puns now.
Oh my lord. Now, Vincenzo, I want to show you something. For those folks who have only just recently joined us and become part of our family, they may not be aware that in 2026 we're going to be making a few changes, and that our members are going to receive some pretty spectacular benefits by way of entries into competitions. And one of the competitions that you will be very much able to enter will be one that will take you to this magnificent, absolutely stunning place called Heaven in the Hills. Escape to tranquility at Heaven in the Hills. It couldn't be more tranquil. It looks a little weird with the hyperbaric chamber there on the left, but that is an absolute must if you want a little extra while you're staying in Mullaney. Now, I stayed here on Saturday night, and thankfully, very graciously, I accepted a free room from our mate, the Galactic Larrick in Bradford, because this is the Galax place. I love these trains. There's two train carriages. They are separate, and you can sort of have a group living in there if you like, staying in there. They are done up in the 1800s sort of style, and I've got to say, just beautiful, truly beautiful. I stayed. Every one of the 5 properties is named after an archangel, and I stayed in a property called Gabrielle, which was just truly beautiful. A beautiful room. It has an open, well, not an open fire. It's got a firebox in there. Beautiful one for when it's cold. Beautiful king size bed. Lovely bathroom, kitchen, dining area. and TV if you're so predisposed to watching it. But the best bit of it is it has a balcony out the back, and you just overlook rainforest and the birds. My Lord. If you are a bird watcher or a bird lover, at night, in the morning, and for most of the day, you are going to be amazed. You'll get some great photos of birds, all different sorts and kinds. I'm not a bird watcher, but I like trying to take close-up photos of them. So one day I might share some if I ever catch a bird. But if you know what you're doing, you'll have a ball out there. And you can go and stay at the Rainforest Inn, where there is a true rainforest shower. Go out and get yourself amongst it. And of course, it's on the top of the range at Mullaney, and there is plenty to go and see and do around Mullaney. A beautiful place to go and spend not just a weekend, but we're going to give you the opportunity to spend a week there. So you can experience all the things in and around Mullaney, Australia Zoo. There's the Botanic Gardens, all the bird feeding that goes on there. The Mary Cairncross Scenic Reserve, if you really want to get down and into a creek and, let's face it, on a hot day, very nice. Oh, the other thing to mention is it's a little cooler up there at Mullaney than it is down lower, just simply because of the altitude. So it is 1 or 2 or 3, maybe degrees cooler. You won't have to worry about it because all the rooms are air conditioned at the Heaven and the Hills property. And even on a bad day, when the solar isn't working, Bradford doesn't mind if you set the generator off to keep the power going. So the place has a big generator, and you won't, I don't think you'll hear it where you are. But some magnificent opportunities to go and stay and things to go and see and do. It is just beautiful. And I went in with Brad on Sunday morning. Well, Saturday night, we went to the Mullaney pub for dinner. Beautiful meal, absolutely stunning meal. Really big country, old country vibe pub. Sunday afternoons, they do live music. And I've got to say, it's one of those pubs that you could sit around and listen to a good band and have a few pints with and have a very good day. There was also a marketplace happening with some beautiful local produce there. The bakery is right up there with some of the best that I've ever been to. And I would particularly mention the thick shakes. Get a thick shake from the Mullaney Bakery. They really know how to make them, old school. So all that is going to be available to you in 2026. An opportunity to go and win a week up in Mullaney.
Okay, and for those who are wondering how that's going to come about, the documentation on how that membership section is going to work will appear sometime between now and January the 1st. So I'm giving myself a little bit of a break somewhere over Christmas. Which
you don't have to
discuss later.
You
be quiet, you. Shut up.
Right,
Behave yourself.
Okay.
And you'll be able to go and have a look at the memberships and what you will get on an ongoing membership. So the one thing to remember, though, is that to be an entrant in one of these competitions we're going to have over this next year, you need to be active members at the time of the competition and throughout the competition drawing period. But you'll find how many tickets that we will allocate to you free of charge of your membership. Just by being a member, you're going to get a certain number of tickets. So keep everything nice and legal.
Yes, that will be how we'll try and do that. And you're right, keeping it all nice and legal. So hopefully we'll encourage a few more members to join us, because it won't just be that we'll be giving away. There are other things coming. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm still not going on the cruise.
Well, we did talk about, and there is, I haven't spoken to Becky O in a few days from Truth Seekers, but I was speaking to her and a couple of the My Place Victoria folks where we thought maybe coming a little bit closer to you, maybe Renmark, or starting in Manham and going to Renmark or wherever, we get a boat. We get a river boat and do a cruise. Now, that's not
We can figure that out.
ocean-like. And
I know, but
and
I
if-
still get seasick. My challenge
Well,
is the seasickness.
I figure if we get enough scotch into you, nobody will be able to tell whether it's seasickness or you're just a bad drinker.
Well, the other option is that I could just take over total, complete assignment of the toilet block, and nobody else will be able to get in.
Yeah, that could be. Well, you're planning on going to sleep.
Well, I did the last time I went across the ferry from one side of the harbour to another.
Oh,
It was a 2.5 hour trip. I spent 2 hours over the toilet.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I can see why you might be. You know, there's been advances in boating technology since then. They don't rock as hard.
Admittedly, it was a smaller boat, and it was one of those ferries you take your cars on, but it was doing this.
Ah, yes, yes. Yeah, well, they do
yeah.
have a habit. They do have a habit. Well,
Now-
there might be a couple of other opportunities for other things, is all I'm saying, for 2026. All things being equal in a beautiful world. Fingers crossed.
I can send you all up the river, and I'll chase you via the road. But something like that. You never know.
Well, there was a suggestion that we turn it into a car rally as well. So different people get on and off at different points, and you do different parts by car and different parts by boat.
Well, it's all about getting the community back into communication with each other, isn't it? Really,
It's right.
because
yeah, and,
we've got
you know,
so much going to happen next year that we're not going to like, which was why we're trying to keep everything really nice and up and jovial tonight. But we do have to mention, and it actually comes along with this from Watta about the Victorian Police receiving automatic weapons training in 2018-2019, and now the MCG will have military firepower for the Boxing Day test. Wake up, people. It's all part of the plan. And that plan's been further emphasised by our wonderful cohesive task force from the Federal Police. So far to date, apparently they've talked to 14 people and have arrested 13 on charges. Don't know what charges yet, but, you know, is it going to get to the point where we're not going to be able to say anything? So have your fun while you can, people. Anyway, that's the end of the bad news. On to the good stuff.
well, just on the MCG and the police with automatic weapons at the MCG, I would have thought Ben Stokes by now would be hoping somebody would shoot him dead from a light tower. He doesn't want to go back to England after the way that the English cricket team are displaying. I don't think any of them do. So if the Victorian police were there to put them down, they'd probably welcome it. The English cricket team, they're bloody awful. I don't suggest
Actually, I
that
think-
for 1 minute anybody should be shooting anybody at anything like a
No,
public
no.
event, unless it was a
No.
sanctioned public event. But as far as I'm aware, they only happen in, you know, places like Tehran and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So
Although I believe that after we saw how good the Victorian police are at moving things around and batting up, I would think they would probably be pretty good bowlers, so they could probably give the English team a fair old shake. So, you know, they're fair on rocket those balls down. They've certainly got the strength behind them.
yeah, very true. Well, if somebody comes out waving a gun or doing something stupid, let's hope they can throw the ball at the right point of the nut's head.
Yep.
The king.
Knock them out.
Oh, well,
No,
pretty soon
so-
that's all we'll be able to do, mate. They'll take cricket balls off us. We'll only be able to defend ourselves with tennis balls, and only flat ones.
Mind you, I used to pitch. I know where to aim. I know where to aim. Even a
Yeah,
tennis
very cool,
ball.
very cool.
Yeah. But,
Very cool, very cool.
No, well, in all fairness, so I hope over the holidays that the boys in blue do actually get a chance to have a bit of a break and spend time with their families. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of them out there. Not every one of them's bad. There's a lot of good guys in that crew, right?
My word.
And they shouldn't have to be stuck with the horror and gruesome events that may happen from those dickheads that are on the road.
Oh, I was just about to mention, I don't know whether there was a dickhead involved or it was just a tragic accident, but 4 people were killed in Cobram a couple of days ago, well, around about the same time or just after what happened in Bondi, in an horrendous car accident there. So we've got some people who watch us and follow us from that area. So thoughts and wishes and prayers go out to anybody, if you know those involved. It's a pretty small little area, local, tight area. So if they were locals, I've been known to many of you. So our thoughts are with you. And it's just another example of why it's so important at this time of the year, particularly as we have so many new Australians on the road who probably for the first time in their life, not even going to call them new Australians because they're just new people. They're not Australians, not yet. But they're new, and for the first time probably in their life, they're being given 2 or 3 or even 4 weeks off over Christmas, New Year. And what are they going to do? Well, if they've saved up a little bit of silver, and let's face it, many of those people who are coming in from other countries are coming in with a fair bit of silver, they might decide to go and spend a little bit of their profits on fuel and accommodation, and God help us, go for a drive. Keep an eye out. There is going to be a lot of people coming out of the cities who are not used to country driving at all. I would urge everybody, just be a little patient. There is no reason that you've got to be in front of the car that's trying to merge in front of you. You're going to be a car length in front of them. Be smarter. Let them race to that little hole and you just drive around them in the lane beside. You know, just be smarter, take your time, and a car length has never won you anything. It may help a race car driver win a race, but being a car length ahead of anybody else isn't going to help you one iota doing anything. But racing to be that one car length ahead could kill you and others.
Or, at worst, you could win yourself a fine.
Ta-da! Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, be safe on the roads. Try and avoid them at all costs. And I guess my feeling isn't that anything is going to happen, but my radio side says you've got to give the warning. If you are going to be going out in public, the MCG clearly is going to be covered by semi-automatic weapons, and I would suggest those weapons have the ability with the flick of a switch to go fully automatic. And the Victoria Police, as whoever put that up, they were trained how to use fully automatic weapons back in 2018, 2019. It's part of their core training. And certainly the SOG, the Sons of God, as they're affectionately known in Victoria, their Special Operations Group have fully automatic weapons as well. Unable to find Desi to use them, though. So they've been trying. But unfortunately not yet. All right. So today is sort of our Christmas Eve, isn't it, Vincenzo?
Yes, it is indeed. And Annie, yes, I have. I think I got your phone number. You sent it to me. I will try and give you a ring after the show. Yes, we had a chat, and you know, Carl's sitting there saying, "Oh, should I do a show tomorrow night, or should this and that?" And I said, "No, let's make tonight our family show with our family here, so that we can spend some time with our other family tomorrow night." Now, specifically for me, because he asked me to come on and do a show with him tomorrow night, specifically with me, I can't, because one of my Christmases 28 years ago was the arrival of one of my daughters, Rebecca.
How beautiful.
So we're having her party tomorrow night, and then on Christmas Day, we're doing Christmas. So Tonight is our farewell for a couple of nights, at least. I would say probably 3. So, will you guys survive without us? Is that feasible? Is that possible? Or would you just say, they're gone, finally, thank you, and be happy?
Silence. Wonderful. So I've got a sneaking suspicion that I won't be able to last that long myself. However, I do like the idea that our family Christmas, if you like, Christmas Eve is tonight. And I especially want to thank all of you who have supported us throughout this year. There are too many to name, but there have been some outstanding people who have helped us and continue to do so in a variety of ways, not just financially, but friendship, the ability to bounce ideas off, the ability to talk about certain things with. And Vince, you play a huge role in that for me. You know that. So I want to thank you, because without you, I would be absolutely, bereft of you, and I'd need to find somebody else who can wave. But aside from
you've got to ask the question: how many people in the chat know where that's come from?
The waving wonder?
How many people know where it's come from? I wonder, does anybody in the chat know?
Okay, right? I'm 254 comments behind in the chat, so hang on a minute.
Oh, they haven't started yet, but
it's so hard too, because if people came in late, they're going to get to this part in the chat 17 minutes after we've finished. Yeah, SOGs do have 50 cal rifles, Tony. You are 100% right. They got all sorts of funny equipment, those boys. Kelly Slater can wave. When was I in Canberra, Black Sheep? I was in Canberra for the last sitting week of the year. So last week of November, early December is when I was in Canberra.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting place.
So
I don't know.
To give you an idea, we've been going, 3 years now, you and me. We known each other for about that long.
Yeah.
So, there was this particular time where the waving wonder made its appearance. I'm just wondering if anybody can remember the story.
It might be hard for people to get this, so maybe we've got to tell it again.
Yeah, you got to tell it. Go and tell it.
And I wish you told me I could have brought up the photo from somewhere, but I don't think I've got it on the computer anymore.
No.
So Vince had come up to help me rewire the lights in the bus. And when I say Vince came up to help me rewire, Vince came up to rewire the lights in the bus for me. I was useful at occasionally passing him things and taking him to the pub for food. That was about the extent of my usefulness. However, he came up and slaved in the hills. Like, we didn't picked him up at the airport, drove up to Withering onto the property where he stayed for a week. I did offer on a couple of occasions, do you want to go down? We'll go down to the coast and have a look around. No, let's get this done. Or no, let's do this other bit. Or no, I'll just keep soldering this and finding the break in that, or wondering where the hell this wire goes and why it's got power.
There was a couple of those.
Yeah, there were a lot of those. So it came to the last day, or the last night, if you like, of Vince being there, and he had a first flight out back to Adelaide. So it was like a 3:30 in the morning get out of bed, or 3 o'clock in the morning get out of bed from where we were, to get him to the airport with enough time during daylight savings, because the time was all messed about, to get him to the airport in time to check in. So as it turned out, we were a bit early. So I said, well, hang on, mate. I'll take you down the beach and, you'll be able to see the lights, sort of thing. So I took him to Burleigh beach where we got out of the car at 4:30 in the morning and we strolled out onto the beach, and I took a photo of Vince where he's waving, but he was, all you get is a blurry hand. So
Yeah.
why on earth we would take a photo and not a video, I don't know. And I thought it was just the funniest thing that taking him to the beach at 4:30 in the morning when it's pitch black and all you can
And
see
me
is
waving.
and you waving with the lights of surface dimly in the background. So that's where the waving wonder comes from, folks. So yeah, he is our wonderful waving wonder.
It just goes to prove how stupid we can be. So
Indeed,
we're not saying, we're not telling you we're intelligent at all. So just to make you all feel perfectly at home and understand that there are people dumber than you out there. So
yeah, and we do play that game. We do play that game. All right, mate. Well, look, I want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas, and we will talk before New Year, no doubt. And thank you again for everything that you've done. And I will let you finish it off with a wonderful wave.
And I will give you that right after I say, everybody from our family here at VOF and from me and from my family to you guys, have the best ever Christmas that you can. Right? Enjoy your family, enjoy the love, enjoy the Spirit of God, and be safe.
Beautiful. Thank you, mate. Have a very Merry Christmas, and you do all those things too. And for you folks, I hope you have a tremendous Christmas. If you are traveling, then be safe. If you are already where you are going to be for Christmas, then sit back, relax. It's the night before Christmas. Don't develop the hangover yet. Make sure you get the last minute shopping done before midday tomorrow, unless it's picking up the prawns. Try and leave them until the very end if you can. I'm told the very best come in today and tonight, and so those prawns will be going out tomorrow. If you are getting seafood in that way. As for me, well, I was asked the other day what I was going to get for Christmas, and I love hearing that question. How often do you hear adults asking kids, oh, what's Santa going to bring you, or what are you going to get for Christmas? And it was so long since I'd been asked, oh, what are you going to get for Christmas? Because I always expect very little. And this lady at the bakery looked at me with this beautiful, beautiful smile and just said, so what are you going to get for Christmas, Carl? I said, I think a spirited argument, a cold lunch, and an early trip home. But I hope not. I don't think it'll go that way. And I'll let you know Christmas night. It should be very interesting. But your family, my family, our family, thank you for being together. Thank you for being part of our community. Thank you for the support that you've given Vince and I, me particularly, throughout the year. Without some of you, we just simply wouldn't have been able to get to this point of the year. And who knows what I'd be doing now. Look forward to keep doing it as we continue. But yes, tomorrow night, I want you to have not have to worry about finding me out and finding what crap I'm going to talk about, because it is the time when you should be spending it with your family. And Christmas night, well, we'll see. Might have had a few beers by then. There is a bit of a barbecue planned around this place where I'm currently parked. So you never know. There might be something coming out of there that requires probably a copyright license. We'll see what happens. Have yourself a fabulous Christmas, folks, and be safe. God love you, and thank you again for everything.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay? Let's rock!